Welcome students to our English text class.
Morning, everyone. Let's read and understand an extremely humorous lesson of students performing a play in a school on their annual day on the excerpts from Ramayana. Children, we all dream of performing lead or at least important roles on stage. But what happens when this dream role comes to us at the last moment and we are not prepared for it? The writer Rupa Gupta is telling her own experience as how she became a laughing stock, which will amuse you all to a great extent. So let's have a healthy dose of laughter and enjoy. Children, we all know the story of Ramayana as how the wicked Ravana disguised himself into an old saint and asked for the alms from Sita and kidnapped her. Now, the story starts with the preparations being done, and Rupa Gupta, the author and narrator of the story, eagerly wanted the role of Lord Rama. But as she was shorter than Radhika, who was playing the role of Sita, Rupa dreamed of herself in the role of Lord Rama's brother Lakshman. But to her utter surprise, Rupa was given the role of one of the monkeys of Vanar Sena, and to her it was very disappointing that she had to only to jump with 7 other girls and shout Jai Ram, Jai Hanuman. Can't I at least get the role of Hanuman? Sita asked timidly. No, your voice is too squeaky. It was teacher's reply. But God had some other plans. There was a message from Alka, who was playing the role of Hanuman, and that she had contracted measles and was down with high fever. Now the teacher looked around in dismay and her eyes fell on Rupa, whose dream was suddenly becoming true, and she was confident enough. But the teacher said that she would be saying the dialects from the wings, and all that Rupa had to do was to repeat what her teacher said. Everything was fine till now. As the third scene started, Rupa became nervous and somebody pushed Rupa to the stage with the sound of drums, and she forgot all the instructions. In fact, she opened her mouth to say her lines only to discover that her throat was dry and her mind went blank. Then at once she heard teacher saying something. Rupa had to kneel down before Lord Rama with folded hands, saying that Hanuman was his faithful servant and would gladly die for him. But instead Rupa said, "Oh my lord, you have forgotten to pin up your tail," without thinking that it was not a dialogue, but the teacher was reminding her that she had forgotten to pin up her tail. There was a burst of laughter in the audience when Lord Rama replied, "Don't be silly. I am not supposed to have a tail. You have forgotten yours." Then the teacher, after this, cut short Rupa's role as much as possible. Now the next scene started, where Hanuman had to show Lord Rama's ring to Sita to convince her that he was Rama's messenger, and Sita had to say some beautiful lines about Lord Rama's greatness and had to hide her face in her hands and weep for a while. As the teacher prompted the dialogue of Sita, Rupa, the so-called Hanuman, without giving a second thought, started saying Sita's lines, "My beauty is my bane. It is because of my beauty that the wicked Ravana wants to marry me." "What?" said Sita, looking startled. Realizing his mistake, Hanuman bit his tongue and the audience went rolling with laughter. Just then there was a grand entry of Ravana the Great. The student who was playing the role of Ravana was a huge figure in 6 inches high heels. Rupa, the so-called Hanuman, was totally unaware of Ravana's entry and was struck dumb by his huge figure, bearing down on him with a shining sword in his hand. The moment the Ravana said in a thunderous voice, "Ha ha 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 ha! Who is the puny creature who dares to intrude into my kingdom?" Hanuman, who was supposed to answer in a proud voice, "I am the son of Pavan Dev, the wind of God, the worshipper of Lord Rama," The immortal Hanuman. Instead, Rupa screamed in terror, please, please, please don't kill me. I am not Hanuman, and pulled off her mask. By now, the audience was rolling with laughter, and it became louder when the infuriated teacher came on the stage and dragged Hanuman away rudely. I hope, children, you must have enjoyed the story. Stay at home, stay safe, and healthy.